Hello, my name is Henry Ramos, nephew of 9/11 hero Harry Ramos. As we're on the heels of the 20th anniversary of 9/11, a lot of the feelings and emotions we all felt that day are beginning to resurface and magnify. For the past 20 years, I have done my best to try and help keep my uncle's legacy alive by telling whoever would listen to the story of his heroism from that day, which ultimately cost him his life. Although our family has been completely devastated by this unfortunate tragedy, in typical Godfather fashion, my Uncle Harry went out only as he would, risking his life for another. Anyone who has ever had the pleasure of knowing Harry Ramos knows how much of an amazing person he is. Hands down, he was the funniest person you would ever meet. He was extremely funny, charismatic, and had one of the biggest hearts anyone can have. There are so many 9/11 families that have had to deal with the unfortunate fact of not knowing what happened to their loved one that day. For our family, we were fortunate to have a very special person shed some light into the events of that day. Although the end result was the same as many who lost their lives that day, there is a level of comfort knowing that he sacrificed himself for the sake of someone else. And not only someone else, but for a complete stranger, someone he had never met a day in his life. On behalf of our entire family, I would like to personally thank Mr. Hong Zhu, former May Davis co-worker, for providing us important details from that day, helping us to get some sort of closure. There are two documentaries that came out some years shortly after 9/11 that highlighted my uncle's story. This video shares some of the highlights from both of them. As hard as it has been to revisit both of these documentaries, I decided to create this video because, as you will hear my aunt say, keep Harry alive. Talk about him every day because that is what's going to help keep his spirit alive. My condolences go out to all the people that lost their lives that day and all their loved ones. To the Wald family and all my uncle's May Davis family, my thoughts and prayers are always with you. Last but not least, thank you to all the men and women of the armed forces for fighting the war on terror, making sure all those who perished that day did not die in vain.
I say we go now. We can't just hang.
Sorry, your call cannot be taken right now. Please hold the line.
We just suddenly felt there was a big shake, a rumble.
I say we go now. We can't just hang around waiting for something.
And after that initial rumble, we looked around. The ceilings caved in, and we didn't know what happened.
Come on, kiddo. We need to get out of here.
Hong's colleague, Harry Ramos, is a head trader at the May Davis Group.
Coming with us?
I think we should stay here and wait for instructions.
But why? It's an emergency.
Somehow I remembered in 1993 there was an incident in World Trade Center, and some people died, not because of the bomb, but because they were stepped upon exiting the building.
Hon, the building just moved 10 feet. It's not safe.
Folks, come on, gotta go.
No, I'm staying.
People,
And good luck.
And you too.
Sorry, your call cannot be taken right now. Please hold the line.
Harry Ramos was the company's head trader. He lived with his wife and two small sons in the suburbs of Newark, New Jersey.
I decided to stay home with the kids. I was tired from the day before. We had just celebrated my son's birthday. And also, I was very tired from my mother had just passed away September the 1st. So I was very tired, and I decided to stay home that day with the children. Harry called and said good morning, and I told him that I decided to stay home in bed with the kids and just relax. And he said okay, and that he would call me a little later. Actually, I was in bed with the children, and the phone immediately rang once again, and it was Harry. And Harry said, Mick, don't panic, I'm fine. But something just hit the World Trade Center. I immediately, and he also mentioned, he said he had to go.
Just 6 floors below the point of impact, Hong Zhu is still trying to get through to a 911 operator.
Sorry, your call cannot be taken right now. Please hold the line.
For Harry Ramos and his colleagues from May Davis who have chosen to evacuate, conditions in the stairwell are bad and getting worse.
It's better through here. Anybody got any water? Get a piece of fabric, clothing, handkerchief, anything.
Yeah, I've got my lucky shirt here.
Some water on it.
Mass evacuation was never one of the safety plans considered when the World Trade Center was built. There are only 3 narrow stairwells in each tower.
Let's go find a stairwell. I don't trust the elevators.
Everybody okay back there?
The stairwells weren't designed to move thousands of people out of the building quickly. They aren't even continuous. When machinery rooms and elevator shafts get in the way, people racing down must exit at the bottom of one set of stairs, then cross the building to find the top of another. But only on certain floors. 3 out of every 4 are locked.
What do you think, guys?
Try another one?
Yeah, I say we go back to the sky lobby. Maybe take an elevator if it's working, if not, find another stairwell. Is everybody cool with that? Okay, let's go.
But emergency lighting has been improved since the '93 bomb attack. Thousands of people use the stairs to exit the building. And yet, some are unable to get out on their own. One of them is Victor Wald.
Now, he made it from the 83rd floor down to the 59th floor. So he made it down over 25 flights.
Sir? Do you need a hand?
I just think probably he just became more frightened. Sometimes you just become, you know, you can't move your legs anymore.
I'll send someone back up to find you, okay?
I'll just hold you back. Go on. Nah, Victor, you stay, I stay.
I don't know why he was drawn to Victor. I have no idea why.
You guys don't need to hang around. Why don't you take off? I'll meet you downstairs when we get there.
They had no connection. They didn't know each other at all. You know, they just could have walked by him like a lot of people would have done.
Come on. Yeah, let's get you on your feet.
That was when I saw Harry was helping a gentleman who I did not know, and quite slowly.
Hey, you decided to take the day off after all. Hong, this is Victor. Victor, this is Hong. We're gonna help him get out of here.
Harry was helping a man. He was very heavy set. I didn't know who he was, and I just thought Harry was helping him. I said, "Do you need a hand?" No one said anything. I started giving him a hand to help Harry to move this man from 53rd down. And then Harry said, "Let me go ahead to see what's ahead of us." And I remembered Victor said, please don't leave me." And Harry came back to Victor, said, "Victor, I'm with you all the time." And then he went ahead to see what was ahead of us. And a few minutes later, he came back. He said there was a nice office on 39th floor. I still remembered the name of that office is XL Credit Union. And XL start with X. The lights, the air conditioning systems, the phone systems. The phone, I believe, we had difficulty dialing out, but there was incoming calls. And Harry moved a personal fan, a very small fan, to Victor, so that he could enjoy the fan.
Here is scanning the skies, looking for a possible attack. Every silent rescue crew has been told to be really back.
For Harry and Hong, The elevator is a last resort. It could be dangerous, but it may be their only hope of getting Victor out of the building.
Look, if everyone agrees, I'm happy to volunteer.
You okay with that?
Yeah.
Looks like he got stuck or got out.
He'll come back.
But what if he doesn't?
And we'll think of something else. Welcome back.
It's clear.
Great.
But only as far as the 44th floor.
Come on, it's better than nothing, Victor.
All right.
Almost home, huh?
I gotta make a call.
It only take a minute.
By 9:46 a.m., more than 1/3 of the New York City Fire Department is at the World Trade Center.
Hey, buddy. Do we know what's going on?
Pentagon got hit.
What?
The Pentagon?
I said it was some accident. Now that fireman said no.
We're at war.
That words were really scary. It was war.
Hi, you don't know me, but I need you to make a call for me.
Who is this?
My name is Victor Wald. I'm in the World Trade Center.
Oh my God.
I can't get through to my wife. I'm asking you to call her. Her number is the same as yours, except there's a 6 at the end instead of a 7.
And what's the message?
Could you just tell her... I'm all right.
Okay. Okay, I will.
Thanks.
Yeah, let's check out the next one.
They just hit the Pentagon.
We better be clear on these doors.
I really think we should go. Now.
Al-Qaeda.
What? Come on.
Al-Qaeda. They're a bunch of terrorists.
Yeah, whoever they are, we gotta go now.
I bet you it was them.
Guys, take this exit.
Come on, up this exit. Go, Victor, go.
Oh, not more stairs.
What was that? It sounded like an explosion.
Victor, you gotta be positive.
We've got to go.
In case you hadn't noticed, we're still only on the 36th floor.
Well, that's only 36 more floors to go. Come on, we have to go. Now, come on.
He let the family down. He could have probably pushed himself harder. But he didn't have to sit there and wait. He let people down. That's all. And I don't think he realized how important he was in the family.
How about if you try going down like sitting?
I'm telling you, I can't move.
You have to move!
Oh, you move. Get out of here.
That fireman's words to me, I really felt was a way to get me off the hook. I was grateful to that fireman. But to think back, very likely the fireman knew what kind of danger we were all in, but he himself didn't move.
Harry?
Of course, I do not have these shining characters a man should have. There was some cowardness, selfishness displayed in my action, in my behavior.
You think we're going to make it, Harry? Harry?
Yeah.
We're going to make it, right?
Sure we will. Now, come on, you're gonna have to move, Victor. Get yourself up and let's go.
Hundreds of firemen throughout the building still aren't aware rescue personnel are also evacuating the North Tower.
I went out from the side of the building, and I kept walking on West Side Highway. And then I heard some people screaming. I looked back. That's when I saw at a very close distance, I saw the building collapsed. I thought probably we lost Harry at that moment.
At 10:28 a.m., 106 floors of concrete and steel come crashing down, floor by floor, one on top of another. Victor Wald and Harry Ramos were both killed in the collapse of the North Tower.
We got a picture of Harry Ramos. It was a brilliant picture. It was a very sharp picture with a Rolex watch. And I said to my children, well, you know, Victor didn't die by himself. An angel came and took him, and Harry was his angel.
Harry was the only person from his company, May Davis, who did not survive.
And Hung, you know, he helped to the fullest, and then he made a decision he had to leave. And I think that was a better decision to make, because he thought that, you know, he had to think of himself at some point. And he tried to help a man, but if Victor couldn't help himself at a point, he analyzed the situation, he made the decision he had to go. He probably feels bad about it, but he made the correct decision.
Harry, 如果我还能再对你说什么话，
If I could talk to you again, I'd like to say, we should have lived together.
In Newark, New Jersey, Harry Ramos's family began to fear the worst.
During the evening time, when it got close to 7, 8 o'clock, and the phone was still ringing, but everyone had seemed to be out from May Davis. I believe there was 13 employees at May Davis, and everyone was out. Everyone was safe, except for Harry. And I was told that he was seen on the 34th floor, and Han was out, finally out, and that's when I finally came to understand that it's a big possibility that Harry wasn't gonna come home.
The ordeal after this, on the September 11th, that afternoon, that morning when I got over to my sister-in-law's house, I was trying to calm her down. Of course, she was hysterical, and I calmed her down with friends there. But I knew something was wrong, so I went to the balcony of his house and asked God and Harry, give me a sign. You know, are you okay? Are you alive? Could you give me a certain sign? Because like I said, growing up as kids, we always had a connection of when something happened to me or Harry, we always felt each other's pain. And when I asked the God to give me a sign, I got a sharp pain on my head. And I knew right then that he wasn't with us anymore. So
By the next day, it became clear that of the 14 May Davis employees on the floor in the North Tower when the plane struck, 13 had survived. Harry alone had died. Victor, the man he'd been helping, had also died. It's presumed that Harry was still with him when the building imploded. 5 months before the disaster, Owen May had this video made showing their offices on the 87th floor.
Zurich called again, and I got points. Still fine calls. What are we going to do about Apollo? Owen, what do you want to do?
Owen, could you sign this factually? Sure.
Your emails? Your friend messages?
At the end of the cleanup operation, salvage workers found the May Davis sign, also buried under the rubble. The memory of Harry Ramos continues to loom large.
Harry was a comedian. He was a great father, a great husband. Never angry. He'd always be in a very good mood and always a smile. Nothing really bothered him. He was a very easygoing person and a good husband. Never said no to me. He tried to please me in every way possible. And we were married for 16 years, and I honestly believe that things happen in life for a reason. And I didn't have my first child till 10 years into marriage, and I wonder why. Now I understand why it took me 10 years to have my first son. And it's because I look at it this way: God wanted me to enjoy my life with Harry, and we had a solid, good marriage, and we enjoyed ourselves for 10 years before we had children. So, and I can say that Harry was a great man. He's going to be missed by many people, and it's a big loss to all of us. And unfortunately, there's many husbands that are gone, and many fathers and many brothers, and this was not only my loss, but I know that it was the nation's loss. It was terrible for everyone, and I'll live my life day by day, and remember all the good times. As I tell everyone, keep Harry alive. Joke about him. I tell Owen and I tell the people at work, talk about him every day and bring him back and keep him alive in your hearts and in your thoughts and in your prayers. But Harry was terrific. I'll never find another Harry.
Right, it's the man. It's the man, right Godfather. When the Godfather is still alive for the year 2000. Check this out, right?